everybody, welcome back to Art a la Carte. Today's video almost didn't happen. The only reason this video is happening today is because of you guys. I am so tired. So I decided I wasn't going to do a video today. It's because of you guys and your encouraging comments and your great suggestions that this video is even happening. Even my camera's tired. Come on, focus camera, focus. Focus on me, focus on me. And the second person I want to thank is Laura for leaving a comment requesting how to draw climbing ivy. I didn't want to think about a video today. I just went and she was the first person in my comment list who asked for a specific tutorial. So when I tell you to leave in the comment section if there's a video that you want, I really do take those into consideration. Laura wants to learn how to draw some climbing ivy. Hopefully you guys want to as well. So let me give you first some tips and tricks. First thing is to look at some reference photos. Find out what climbing ivy really looks like. I oftentimes will just go to Google and just type in whatever it is I'm searching for. So here are just some Google images that I can look at. Check out that house. That house is some serious climbing ivy. I don't even think there's a house anymore. But even better than looking at reference photos, whether online or in books, is getting out and seeing something in real life. It is raining, pouring, winding, storming, and thundering, so I'm not going to go outside and look at the ivy growing on my tree, but I've looked at it enough, and we're just going to kind of look at some of these reference photos here and see if we can create some climbing ivy. The first thing we're going to want to do, and I'm again drawing with a pencil, that way I can erase any lines that I don't like. But the first thing I'm going to do is create the actual ivy vine. And I'm going to draw it a little bit darker than I normally would, just so you guys can see it. And there is my vine that my ivy grows off of. And off of this main vine comes little leaves, like though. And we're just going to kind of go back and forth between those. And so there is my leafless vine of ivy. Now, depending on the type of ivy that you want to draw, the leaves will look completely different. For this one, I'm going to do kind of more of a heart-shaped leaf. I don't know if that's a real thing, but that's what I like to make my ivies look like, a little bit heart-shaped. And to add a little bit more realism to them, don't have them all exactly like cookie-cuttered perfect. So have them kind of pointing slightly different directions. You want still that natural look because the leaf is growing this way, so that the inner vine crease is going to go up through here. So it's not going to, you wouldn't draw one like pointing straight down. It would look like it was broken. But if you can imagine that the spine of the leaf kind of bending over, boom, just like that. Another fun thing to do is when you bring this back in, bring a little cut in. Sometimes the leaves get damaged or don't grow right, or maybe a little bug was chewing on it. That adds a little bit of interest with that. You can even do a little curl up, where you curl the leaf over a little bit, have a little bit of overlapping. As the leaves get closer to the top, you're going to make them a little bit smaller. They just haven't grown as much. Maybe just like a little bud right up there at the top. And there we go. This is a very basic ivy vine. But rarely are you going to have it super straight like this. So I'm going to draw another one over here, but this time I'm going to curve this line around. So I'm going to bring it over here. Maybe I'm going to curve it up like this. And a lot of times there'll be vines coming off of the vines. So I can have a vine coming over this way, maybe a vine coming up this way. Maybe I'll have a vine coming over here. So here is a vine within vines. And then with each of these, I'm going to begin to then put my little offshoots for the leaves. Again, also I don't want to make it completely, even and matching. And after you get really comfortable with this, you don't even have to, really mark out where these are going to be. You can just draw it leaf by leaf. And then you can begin adding in those leaves. So let's try a different shaped leaf, just to make it hard on myself. So for this one, zooming in so you guys can see what I'm doing. For this one, I'm just going to create more of a triangle shape just to get that shape right. But I'm going to cut this in like this. It's always good, once you get comfortable doing something one way, to just bump it up again. Make it just a little bit harder. Don't start on the hardest level. when you play a game, like a video game, you can choose, easy level, medium level, hard level, expert level. I don't know about you guys, I always start off on the beginner's level if it's the first time I've ever played this game. But if I played it through once and I want to try to go again and make it a little bit harder, then I'll bump that level up a bit. Don't be afraid to overlap your leaves as well. So maybe some of these leaves are coming in up over top of that vine, so you don't actually see the vine that kind of goes underneath them. Adding overlapping can just make so much more interest in your drawing. Ties everything together. So down here, this is a great place to overlap. I have a little leaf sprout here, but I have this leaf here. I'm going to draw that leaf, but I'm going to overlap it behind there. So see how this little leaf is, he's hiding. Maybe he's just a little bit shy. I'm a shy leaf. And again, as these leaves get out farther on the little vine, they're just going to get smaller and smaller. Oh, there's one more right here. There we have our two different vines. Again, this one much straighter. So you can see by adding a nice natural curve to something, adding some more vines coming off the side and overlapping those leaves, you get a little bit more of a realistic ivy plant. There are a lot of fun things you can do with this ivy technique. You could make a frame using ivy. So maybe you want to draw something and add a frame. So you could do that using your ivy. Especially if it's something like nature, forest related, that can make a very pretty picture. So I'm going to sketch in a circle right here, and I'm going to use this circle line as my main vine of my ivy. And I'm going to begin to place in where I want my leaves to go. Keep it going in the same direction all the way around. And then let's put something in the center here. I've been really into mushrooms lately. I think they're just so fun to draw. So let's just put a little mushroom right in here. I have the biggest mushroom growing out in my backyard. It started off just so tiny and has just kept growing and growing and growing. In fact, if it stops raining, I will run outside and take a picture of it and post it over on my Instagram page. So if you want to see the gigantic mushroom that is eating my backyard, you can find a link to my Instagram page in the description box of this video. You can check it out. You don't have to be on Instagram to see my pictures. So go over and check it out if you want to. If I see something cool happening around my house, I always like to take pictures of it. You never know when you might want to draw a mushroom. Though it's not as cute as this. Mushroom outside is very evil looking. Now for this next part, instead of drawing in the leaves with a pencil, I'm going to go ahead and just jump into using a marker. And because this has a nice kind of a brush nib, I can get a really thick and thin line to it. So I'm going to start at the very tip of the leaf, like right here. And I'm going to add some pressure and it's going to thicken my leaf out. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to tap that in. Just like that. Look at that great little leaf. So if your markers don't have a brush nib like this, it might be a little bit more challenging, but you could do this with a paintbrush. Any kind of paintbrush that has, a nice little point to it, you could get this technique right there with it by just doing the same thing. I would practice it first on a little piece of paper before you throw it onto your actual picture, but I think you should be able to get that really easy. So I'm just going to go all the way around here with my little leaves. So my drawing is just about done. I want to really be careful because I just put a little bit of ink on there to create those dots. But I want to connect this all in with a nice thin green line. I'm going to use a green multi-liner. This one is by Copic. It's a 0.3. I'll have links to where I purchased these items in the description box below if you want to find out some more information about them. You can definitely go and check those out. I also didn't get into too much detail about how I drew the mushroom because it really wasn't about, that wasn't the topic for today's video. But if you are interested in mushroom art, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and that you've also hit that little bell icon. That's the notification bell, and that's really the only way that you're guaranteed to know when I upload a video. You can be subscribed, and sometimes YouTube will let you know, sometimes not. But hitting that little bell notification will give you a notice every single time I upload a video, because I have a really fun mushroom video in the works. I just have to finish editing it, and there's a few more things I have to film for it, but I think it'll be a fun video indeed if you like drawing mushrooms. I had a blast doing it. I also had a blast doing this one, and I'm glad, you guys, I pushed through. Sometimes we just don't feel like doing art. We're just a little tired, and there's 100 excuses why we don't do the things that we need to practice on. So find those people that are encouragers to you, that will encourage you to continue on with practicing, whether it's art or maybe sports, learning a new subject in school. Yeah, find those people. For me, it's you guys. You are some of the biggest encouragers for me to keep going and doing what I am doing, and I love it. So in the comment section below, one, let me know if there's something that you would like to see how to draw or see how I would draw. And two, let me know what things are you working on learning, whether it's art or something else. I'm always curious to find out what you guys are interested in, what you're working on, what you're passionate about. So yeah, let's chat about that in the comments section. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in another art video. Bye-bye!